Okay, so here's just a quick look at our agenda. These are some of the things that I just went over, but going over some of those key concepts and terms, and then we'll go into the product and walk through some of those functions that you'll be doing as admins. So Interfolio's faculty activity reporting, it's the online system that Interfolio has to collect and report on data from your faculty members' activities. And so it's created to address some of those issues that you have around accessibility, and it also kind of saves time for your faculty members. So they're inputting their information into one system and they have access to that system all throughout the year. So a couple of terms that you'll hear when using Faculty180 are listed here. One of the main concepts is the sections and fields. So when you're creating your input workflow, your faculty members are going to have to provide information in sections and fields. And when we refer to those, a section is has an input form, and that form has fields, and the fields are related to information that you want to collect. So that would be the information mainly from activities. So usually that information is related to teaching, research and scholarship, and service. You also have the ability to build out those fields to collect, however much information you want and however detailed you want that information to be. The Vita template is a collection of sections from the profile or activity forms. And when we go into the product, we're going to look at the profile and activity sections in the account. And a template is going to mirror your activity form. Each database will have a standard CV template. So A&M has a standard template, and you can kind of use that template to create additional templates that are customized for your input cycles. An example would be creating a Vita template for your annual review. And then just a quick look at your user roles. So at the top level, we have our system admin. That's going to be the highest level of access. So that would be Sandra's role. And this admin is responsible for the database configuration and the upkeep. So system admins have top level permissions. They can assign permissions to other users, and they're really responsible for kind of building out how Faculty180 or faculty activity reporting is going to be used at your institution. The role that most of you have, or all of you have on this call, is going to be the unit administrator. So you can have, you can modify the rights of a unit admin. I believe most of you will have full rights, and that will allow you to manage your department or college. So with those rights, you have the ability to run the reports and initiate those input periods for your faculty members. Next, we have support accounts. And support accounts are created to assist faculty members with their data entry. So with a support account, an admin or a student worker can go into a faculty member's account and emulate that account and actually put in data for them. So the data that they're inputting is real. It's going to stay in the faculty members' accounts, but they don't have that full admin access like a unit administrator would. their main role is for data entry. And then you have your faculty account. So it's for full or part-time faculty or professional staff who might teach, and their main function is to input their data into the profile and activity forms and fill out the initiated input when that's created. So I believe there's a link on the A&M website for you to log in. But if not, you can always go to our Interfolio homepage. It's just interfolio.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there's going to be a login link. And when you click that, you're going to be taken to a page that looks like this. And if you select the sign in with partner institution, you're going to see a page that looks like this. I took a screenshot where I typed in Texas A&M. It's going to, the search bar is going to be blank, but if you just start typing in Texas, A&M will appear in a drop down, and you can select that and log in to your account. So with that, we are going to switch over to the Texas A&M database, and I am going to be emulating one of your unit admins so we can just start to take a look around your database. So if you give me just a second, I'm gonna switch shares. Okay, so when you first log into your account, you're going to see your home screen. It's going to look like this. On the left-hand side, you're going to have your navigation bar. And as a unit admin, you're going to have an administration section where you can access all of the functions that you need as an administrator. Over here in the main part of the screen, you have your dashboard, which lists your tasks. So as you're just launching your database, likely you're not going to have anything there right now, but as you start to initiate your activity input workflows, things that are assigned to you or might need your approval will appear here as tasks. Just want to go over this first section, the announcements and help. Most of these things are going to be on your faculty members' accounts, but the announcements and help section has been built out by A&M. And the top part, we have announcements from Interfolio that might have to do with the product, but here you have built out information about Faculty180 that applies to A&M. So you have links to handbooks, you have your quick links, guides. So this is available to you and your faculty members when you're in your account. That next section you're going to see is the profile section. It's where you can enter in information that's going to be pretty stagnant. We don't expect this information to change very much, but you can go in and just verify this information. So it should have your personal information, your contact information, your degrees. Some of these things are going to already be filled out because this information was brought over when we were building out the database. But if not, you can go ahead and fill out that information so it will populate on VITAs. This next section here is going to be a section that a lot of your faculty members will be using. This is where you can input all of your information when it comes to activities. So whenever you initiate that activity input period, your faculty members are going to go here to their different sections, aside from teaching, that most of the time is brought over by this a system upload, but they will go into the different sections and add their activities and add their information so that whenever you create the initiated activity input, that information will be brought over and it'll be filtered by the dates that you specify. So most of your faculty will be spending their time here, or your admins will. And that information is easily added by just clicking this add button and filling out these different fields on the input form. And once these fields are filled out, then they would simply click the Save and Go Back button and review, or the information would be added and saved, and then it would show up on your activity input form. I also have a demo account open that we'll go into to show a couple of things, so we can take another look at that when we're over there. The forms and reports section that's up here in the navigation bar is also going to be available to your faculty members. You see this initiated activity input form section. So whenever you create that initiated input, this is where the faculty members will see that form, and they can start working on it from here. Under reports, they can see their saved prior input forms and view those once they have multiple in the system. But this is where faculty members will go to add or submit their activity input form. The Vitas and Bio Sketches section allow faculty members to either view a Vita that has been created for them by A&M. So the initiated input form is similar to the Vita, but if a faculty member needed their own Vita or wanted to customize one, they could do that here, and that could be used, for any number of situations. Maybe they need it for a grant opportunity, or maybe they just want to customize their own Vita. They do have the ability to do that here in Vitas and Bio Sketches. The Find a Colleague section allows faculty members to find colleagues at their institution who are interested in the same fields as they are. So maybe they're doing a project or conducting research in a certain field. They have the ability to connect with other faculty members at A&M to collaborate and maybe just ask questions on that research. So that information is pulled from the profile section, and the Find the Colleagues section is used to network and collaborate with other faculty members at A&M. This account access section allows faculty members to grant access to faculty members to grant user access themselves to their account. So if you want somebody to enter in things on your behalf, or if you want to have a faculty member look at something on your account, maybe you want them to preview your activity input before you submit it. You could grant access to your account to someone without having to, reach out to, without a faculty member having to reach out to an admin to do that. So it's easily done here by clicking add, and they can even put an expiration date so that they don't have to necessarily remember to come in and revoke that permissions. So all of those sections are going to be on every account, on every user role except for a support account. Here we have administration, and this is what makes your level of access different. So we'll start here with the administration section. And here, this is where you are going to create that initiated input period. Sorry. So when you select create initiate input workflow, this is going to be the workflow process that allows the faculty members to input and manage their information and activities on the activity input form. So this is going to save the faculty member time, and it makes sure that you are getting complete and accurate data. So again, when to initiate this, faculty members can just log into their account and either add, edit, or delete data from their activity input form. And once they submit their form, it will go through the workflow. So your workflow process is typically initiated after your enrollment numbers have been finalized, because at that time, the course information will be uploaded, and that will show up in the faculty member's account, and they'll be able to verify their course information. And once that activity input process is started, faculty members will be able to finish that activity input form and submit it. So they can also attach other documents such as their syllabi, evaluations, or other supporting information. So here, once you're ready to create that initiated workflow, you're just going to click this add button. And you'll need to fill out the required forms or required sections on this page. So you might, for your title, name it your annual review 2020. And this is the title that your faculty members are going to see. So this is going to be the title of your workflow. Then you're going to need to give your timelines for this. So when does this open? Meaning when does when are faculty members able to go into their account and start working on their input form? So here you can change months, you can change years, but you will need to select the date. So let's say it starts tomorrow, and we want it to open up at 12. You can, specify down to the second, and the time zone is going to be central because it's going to be based on the time zone that the database was set up in. You have the ability to set an end date, or you can leave it as ongoing. I will say most people have a close date. Again, looks like the calendar, you're just going to choose your month and time and date. Once that initiated input close date has passed, faculty members won't be able to submit that activity input form. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, that that close date is important. Under the faculty input settings, you're going to choose your form. As forms are created and built out at the top levels, then those forms will be an option here in the dropdown. And you're going to choose your start and end semester. So what semesters do you want to block out to get that information that you're looking for? So maybe you want to get activities from fall 2019 to fall 2020. And then you can choose a Vita template for preview. So when a faculty member is previewing this information, what template would that information, or what format would be used for the display of that information? And as I said, every institution has a standard Vita, but you do have the ability to copy that and customize that. So you do have a Texas A&M CV. And then you have the workflow steps. So we recommend having, at least one step. So here you have your faculty step. So after your faculty fill out that form, they're going to need to submit it. So, obviously the first step has to be faculty, so that's grayed out. Here, the step title is going to be submitted. The button label is going to say submit for review. And here, the reject button, you have the ability to customize that if you want it to say something different. And then you have your instructions that you also have the ability to customize. So, this is just our standard language, but if you wanted to edit any of this, you have the ability to do that. But basically, we're just asking the faculty member to submit their information for review. In here, you have the ability to add another step. So if you wanted this activity input to go to another set of eyes, or if you wanted to add multiple levels to the workflow, you can do that by adding another step. And it's going to go to an admin, and they have the ability to review that information, through however many steps are needed. But most kind of go through that first level of the faculty just reviewing and submitting their information, and then you would have the ability to accept or reject that. And then you're going to select the faculty members that are participating in the initiated input workflow. So when you click select faculty, you're going to see the faculty members that are available at your unit. So here, because I'm emulating a department head at the School of Public Health, that's the unit that I have access to. So that's the unit that is going to automatically populate. And here on this list here, I have all of the faculty members that are available in that unit. If I want to select, certain faculty members, I can simply click on their name, and I can click on multiple, and by clicking this, the black arrows, I can move those over and move the selected faculty. Or if you want your whole department to complete the review, you can simply click either of these arrows. So if I click this double blue arrow, it's going to move everyone over. And once I click select faculty, I'm going to see the number of faculty members I've selected. And while I don't want to save this for this account, you would just click save, and then your initiated faculty input workflow would start based on the time that you've set here. And so I'm going to cancel this, and we'll be able to look at it in a demo account. So let me switch back over to here. Okay, so here I'm in one of our demo environments. And this is a system admin account, but when I was back in the administration section, it's going to look similar to yours. I clicked on the initiate faculty input workflow. In here, I have some past activity workflows that we didn't see in the other account, but once you start creating them, any of your past workflows will appear here. I would just click that add button. I'm going to go ahead and enter in my title and my dashboard message. I'm going to start my input workflow today. If you don't want to select a specified time, you can click the now if you were, or if you were setting it for a current workflow, you can click that now button. And I am going to give it an end date. And I'm going to end it in the middle of next month. So I'm going to give it a month. And I'm going to end it at 11. In my account, I have a couple of different forms I can use, but I'm going to use the Interfolio or the University Master's Activity section, and I'm going to collect information from fall of last year to spring of this year. And I'm going to use the annual review Vita template. For my reject button label, I'm going to, oh, this is set at the institution, the system level. So that's going to be set for an A, and when faculty members are working on their input form, they're going to see that submit for review button. And then I'm going to select my faculty that I want to participate. Because this is a system admin, I have access at the university level, so that's why I have so many users, but I'm just going to select a specific unit. So my number changes, and I'm going to select all of the faculty. And then I'm going to save it. And since I saved it, you'll see it appear here on my list of other reviews that I've created. And once, because I'm already here in the demo account and I have some data that would show up here, the next thing I wanted to go over was the approval process. So once faculty members have access to their initiated input form and start updating their activities, they'll start to submit those, and you can monitor the input participation and start approving those forms. If you do build out like a multi-level workflow, just know that if a faculty member, if the input workflow is approved for a faculty member at one level, but rejected at the next level, that review process has to start over from the beginning. So the faculty member will receive, if that happens, a faculty member will receive an email notification regarding that rejection, along with instructions on what they'll need to do, such as, updating an activity to have their input form approved. And they'll also get a notification on their dashboard as a task. So to approve an initiated activity input form, you're going to go to Approve Faculty Input. It's still in the administration section. And here I have the workflows that I saw when I was creating them. So you'll be able to see when it opened, when it was due, how many faculty members are participating in that workflow, how many have submitted. So as you get closer to your end date, you should see this percentage change, and then you'll see the number of steps. So in order to drill down on this, you'll click the eyeball icon, and that'll take you to the place where you can approve. And here I can select, I created that 2020 review in the Fine Arts department, so I can click this eyeball icon to see the list of faculty members who are actually participating in this input workflow. So here I have all of the names and just some basic information about the faculty member. And in order to actually approve their form, I would just click the eyeball icon next to a faculty member's name. And that's going to take me to a screen where I'm actually emulating the faculty member. So I'm taken to their faculty input. So it's showing me the activity period that I've selected. And if this were submitted, I would see this, say submitted instead of not submitted, but I can go through all of the sections of their form and see their data. And here at the bottom, I would have the approve button. or I would have the reject button, and you would click that to submit or approve their workflow. If you, again, reject it, then they would get a notification by email and on their taskbar, on their task in the home dashboard, letting them know what they need to do to correct their form and resubmit for approval. And to exit this view, you would just click Exit Emulation. And you're taken back to the administration page where you see all of your faculty members, and you're able to continue to view and approve the workflows here. You can also, print out any of their activity input forms if you'd like to, take them and view them offline. This view is also helpful, for your reporting purposes. If I go back to approve, it just allows you to quickly see who's approved or who's completed their initiated activity input form, and how many of your faculty members, are still working on it. So if we go back to the administration section and look under reports, you'll see the different types of reports that you can run, such as your activity reports and your administrative reports. And to make sure I'm showing you, a view of what you would see, let me go back to the Texas A&M account, and then we'll come back over here to actually run a report and see some data. Okay, so here in the report section, you can run different activity reports. You can run administrative reports and accreditation reports. So here, the reports that you see here is going to be based on your levels of permission. And since most or all of you have the full admin rights, you're going to have the ability to see all of the information in the system about your faculty. Once you generate a report, you can export that into Microsoft Word or Excel, or by Adobe PDF. So to access the reports, it's again going to be under administration. You're going to click on reports, and then you're going to choose the type of report you want to generate. Each report is going to have different general settings that you can use to build out that report. Again, to capture the information that you're looking to display. If we go into the demo account, I can show you the faculty selector so that you can focus on a subset of faculty and even customize that information by using activity classifications. So I'm going to switch back over to the demo account. Let's see. Okay. So with the profile report, this is a quick way for you to gain some information about your faculty members that can be found here in the profile section. You can specify what kind of information you want to pull from your faculty members, whether it be personal information, degrees, current position. And then you can use the faculty selector tool to customize that information. So with the faculty selector tool, you're going to have your unit. And again, this is going to default to the level of access you have. So most of you will have access, to your individual department or college. So I'm going to choose the College of Business. If you want to exclude subunits, you can click that to exclude any units that might be nested under your specific unit, or if you want to encapture all of the units that pertain to your school or to your college, you can leave that unchecked. And this administrators only just means that if you check this box, you're saying that only users with administrative rights will be selected. This employment status allows you to focus on, a specific group of faculty members. It defaults to full-time, and it's likely that you'll, just leave that. And then you have the ability to focus in on a specific time period. I'm going to change this because I know I have data in that time period. And then here you have the ability to kind of drill down information even further if you want. So you could search and filter this by your faculty title, the login status, kind of specifying if this faculty member is active or not in the system. You can also specify your courses taught. So if faculty members with courses taught during these specific terms should be included, then you can select yes, or you can leave that empty if you want, if these sections aren't required. And then if you want to drill down to specific criteria, if you were using faculty classifications at A&M, then you would have some options here. In this demo account, some of the faculty filters have to do with different classifications that we've built out, and then some of them have to do with accreditation. Again, this is going to look different based on what A&M is using. Oh, and then I need to select my faculty. So with these settings, I have 172 faculty members. And if I click on that, I can drill down and select the faculty members that I want to view if I need to. So I can say select all to select all of that 174, or I can say list so I can see the individual names. I do want to select all of the faculty, so I'm going to move these over and choose select faculty. And when I click build report, I'm going to see all of their names and the current position because I chose that as the activity. If I want to change this, then I can simply change the activity and click refresh report while still keeping that same list of faculty members and change the view of the information that I'm seeing. If I go back to reports, I see that I have the different reports under activities, like your activity input report. You have your scholarly activities, courses taught, and then here we have ad hoc reports, which allows you to kind of customize and build out your own report if you want to capture a mixture of information that's in these different sections here. And all of these report sections will be using the faculty selector tool that we just went over in the profile section, so you can really customize and drill down that information for the faculty members in your unit. And quickly want to go back and talk about ways that you can get assistance when you're in the system. For a couple of pro tips that we suggest when working in Faculty180 is that you use Google Chrome or Firefox. If you do choose to use a different browser, we recommend making sure that it's the most up-to-date version of whatever browser you're choosing to use. If you noticed when I was in the system, I didn't use the browser back buttons. I either used the breadcrumbs at the top of the screen, or there's a go back button at the bottom of each page. If you use the browser back buttons, then you may see like a blank white screen, or the format of the page may be jumbled. If that happens, you can just refresh the page and again, use either the breadcrumbs at the top of the screen or the go back button at the bottom. The save your work pertains to admins and faculty members. Faculty180 does not auto save, so if faculty members are working on their activity input form or you're building out a workflow, then we highly suggest clicking the save button. Even as you're working maybe on the same form or the same workflow. That just ensures that the things you've done are saved and you definitely have the ability to edit your workflow or your input form if you're a faculty member. And then all of the required fields are going to have an asterisk, and in order to save the things that you're working on, whether it be the workflow as an admin or the initiated input form, if you're a faculty member, those pages won't save if you haven't filled out all of the required sections. And then if you need help with any of this information, or if you need help with reports, or if you're having some technical difficulties while you're accessing your account, you can always reach out to our support team. They're listed here under Scholar Services, and you can email them at any time at help@interfolio.com, or you can reach out to them by phone at this number listed here, 877-997-8807. They're available by phone Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we also have our help center. So the place where our reports, webinars live, and our step-by-step help guides is going to be in the help center, and that is linked out on the announcements tab in your account. And this is a quick look at what it looks like, but we have user guides and we have videos there. If you are not in your account at the time, you can always access that by going to product-help.interfolio.com. Of course, if you have any like process questions or questions about how you should set things up based on what you're looking for at A&M, Sandra is our point of contact. So she has a project manager who's been helping her set up your database and build all of this out. So she would be able to answer any process questions for you. And again, I'm going to share the webinars with her that we've done that really hone in on the reports feature that you'll be using as an admin. And I can work with her to set up any additional trainings that we may need. So with that, Sandra, let me stop sharing my screen. If there are any questions that you had that we didn't get to answer in the chat box, you can let me know. And we can work on getting those answered if we don't have time to do it now.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I do. In running the reports, I see that the reports are run by semesters. So for those on the academic track, whose appointment is about 12 months or so, how would you run such a report?
Sorry, do you mind repeating that second part you said?
So when you run your reports, so you run them like from, fall through the spring, right? So that would be, 2 semesters. So the summer is not included. Is that correct?
Oh,
so
it
for
is.
People who, for example, whose annual report runs say from January through December, how would you run such a report?
So it's still gonna, that summer semester would still be included based on the year that you selected.
So when you select fall and spring, this summer will be included?
Well, you would need, let me go back. Let me share this really quickly. There is a summer option. Where's my share? Let's see. Okay. Well, there is a summer option. I'm in the demo account, but it's going to be based on the way that the terms are set up at Texas A&M. But
and I understand that. So if you're interested in running a report that shows, someone like our academic, track, faculty, say a person works in the spring and then the summer and then the fall, and you're looking at running a report that reflects that, how would you go about doing that?
Then you would do spring to capture the beginning, the beginning of that year. So the January part, and then fall to capture the end. You
right,
do
but,
have that.
But then here you would be missing the summer because someone works 12 months. So you would be missing the summer here because this would go for the spring. It would probably go from January maybe through May, and then there is no accountability for the portion of May through maybe August when that fall semester starts.
Right. And again, that's based on how you calculate terms at Texas A&M, because we do have the ability, you can break it up by
it's just that for my
fall.
annual report, that's just typically the way we run it over like a 12-month period, because we have faculty who pretty much work all year round.
Mm-hmm. So here you have it at A&M. I'm not sure. Can you see the Texas A&M screen? Do you see the fall, spring, and summer?
Yes, on the A&M accounts, it does show fall, spring, and summer.
Okay, I'm glad. Okay, just want to make sure you can see that. So that's how it's been, built out at A&M. So if you're using spring, that's going to start at the beginning of the year, and if you select fall as the end term, it's going to capture that summer term.
Okay, so, and when it captures those terms, does it capture the holidays as well or not?
The holiday, yeah, it would capture the holidays.
So someone working during, the holiday, period can be accounted for.
Yes. Are you talking about the winter?
Yeah, when you say the spring, semester starts, say January 15th, but you have a faculty that's working from January 1st.
Then that should be captured in the spring. I know it's customizable when these things start, so I need to check with Sandra on how you like the terms were set up at A&M. I know she worked with a project manager to set that up, but all of the dates for an entire year are going to be captured in fall, spring, and summer. I just have to confirm with her if your fall is going through January or if you've started that in the spring, because I see that you're not using the winter option.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that it works well for someone who's like on a 9-month contract, which, possibly is a majority of the faculty. However, those faculty that are on the academic track, I'm not sure that this really demonstrates how their workload or their activities are captured over a 12-month period.
Well, I mean, all of the terms are going to be captured within these three. As I said, I just need to confirm with Sandra and our project manager on like how these are set up and what terms are under or what months are under these specific terms.
Whitney, this is Bibo. I think, is it possible to just set up the default for summer as a one separate unit, and also another option of default as an annual evaluation along with the current two, fall and spring?
Is it possible to set up an annual?
Just one more default for the annual and the other one to add to the as a summer. So that will take care of the problems.
Annual would be good.
Plus the summer, in case if we want to just count by fall, spring, and summer. And then the other option is an annual, so that there will be 4 defaults instead of 2.
For your, are you referring to like your initiated input flow?
Yeah,
or
for example,
the terms that.
For example, the previous suggestion was, how do we account for the summer? So if we have that default as a summer, and let us say if we want to count as an annual the entire year, then we have a default as an annual. So that way we have 4 defaults. So we can choose whatever we want.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. We don't have the option to just have like a default, like in the drop down. You'd have to specify the semester and the year.
Yeah, I think that annual default would really solve our problem.
Mhm.
It may be something that you want to look into.
Yeah, we can definitely add that as a feature request to just have that.
I
You don't
agree.
have to choose.
Most of our reviews are annually based. That will really help.
Yeah, again, you can capture that with the beginning and end dates and in your terms, like that would capture an entire year.
It would help if it was provided in the default way.
Got it. So I do have to jump off, Sandra, and run to another call. But again, if there's some questions that we didn't get answered, feel free to email those to me, and we can get those sorted out. And I'll pass the webinar to you, and then we can talk more if there's any other additional information needed.
Okay, that sounds good. And I will have all of this posted on the Dean of Faculty's website on the Interfolio page. And I did make note about the annual term, and we'll also work with Whitney and the Interfolio team to look into that to see what we can do on that, or provide more direction on how to make sure your input period and reporting and things like that are accounting for the full year.
Sandra, I have a quick question.
Thanks,
So,
Whitney.
Thank you. Have a good one.
I'm looking on my page, and I just some information is populated, but not very much. For instance, there are no grants. I thought that was supposed to be automatically populated from SRS or something,
Yeah, so the grants are being populated from Maestro.
or from Maestro, but none of that is in, or even like, will any of the degrees and bibliological data be populated? It just was pretty sparse, and I didn't know if that was still going or that's...
No, so when I log in and emulate users, I can see that all of the degrees that we have entered, their PhD, master's degrees are populated. I see all of the degree information from Maestro. I see the scholars at TAMU data populated. So if you have a specific thing, maybe we need to work together one-on-one on that.
Okay. Okay. But I just didn't, that's what my question was. It was still in progress, or...
No, it's not in progress. It's already, it should already be loaded.
Okay, I have one degree listed, but and rank and promotion history, none of that is there. So
Okay.
I just...
If you'll send me an email, I will look into that.
Okay.
I thought this was supposed to be populated from ORCID, because if it did, then all of that should have already been captured.
So part of it is populating from the Dean of Faculty's database, not just from ORCID. I believe there are fields that were capturing items in ORCID, because I remember filling out like a ORCID ID number in some of the publications and stuff like that, but I can make a note of that and look into that also, Dr. Opperman.
Thank you. Sandra, the other thing, if it's populating from Maestro, Maestro has a little quirk. As a department head, I have every single grant in my department listed as my grants. So when I am actually trying to find my personal grants, I'm going to go and hunt through my personal grants. When they're populating from Maestro to Interfolio, am I going to have 150 grants all listed as my grants?
No, you shouldn't. You should only see the ones that are your true grants.
Okay, thank you, because that's one of those.
And I did check that with Dr. Lupiani's grants. So
Okay.
she doesn't see everything. She only sees hers. I used hers as my guinea pig on all the sections to make sure things were populating.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for attending, and we will get all of this posted, and you will be hearing more from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.